Everyone, it's a fresh week. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here. Hope you're doing good. I hope you had a good weekend. I got papers today, everyone, because this is going to be real-time, sort of relevant from the field. Here's some offers that I would make on these houses. Okay, so here's the very quick backstory. Got a client right now and helping them buy a house, and they're well qualified. They just lack cash, right? So that's the biggest thing is that, hey, we can go get a house, right? But it's like we are going to need the sellers to pay for the closing costs. That's kind of our big thing in the offer that we're going to have to ask for, right? Is to get sellers to pay for the closing costs, which is not a big deal, and I'm going to kind of highlight why. So, but the real thing I want you to get here is based on some of the stats I'm going to give you on these couple of houses, what kind of offer could you get away with making? Because 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, it would have been, hey, this house is listed at $479. How much over $479 are you going to offer? How many contingencies are you going to waive? And it's not really that way right now. So let's dig into it. First house is listed at $479.9. The first thing I want to know when looking at the, and I can't just per like confidentiality stuff show you the MLS sheet because it's got contact info and all that kind of stuff, right? You guys understand. So it's listed at $479.9, and here's an important thing. Your MLS may vary, but I'm going to give you stuff per the Utah MLS, which is there is a column called DOM, Days on Market, which means how many days has this house been on the market? How many days has the house been for sale? 19, which is not bad. Right now, it's frankly fine. Like it's not even that much, right? Just shy of 3 weeks. But there's a very important stat above it that a lot of people seem to miss out on. And this one is CDOM, cumulative days on market. AKA, if the house was taken off and then put back on, so that we can get that DOM, days on market, back down to 0. Well, what's the cumulative amount of days that it's been on the market? 110. Okay. So your house has been for sale for 4 months, just shy of 4 months, right? Not 19 days. The 19 days is I looked because you fired your agent because they hadn't sold your house, and then you hired a new agent who listed the house back on the market. I can find this because I looked up the history of the home on the MLS, which is something that agents can do. It's something that you as a consumer cannot do. So in the conversation, which is not what this video is about, like, hey, do realtors actually bring any value to the table? Yeah, they do. If for nothing else, because they simply have tools at their disposal to be able to find information that you really can't find, okay? One of those is that this house was listed, didn't sell for 3 months, they pulled it down, and then they relisted it. That's where we are now. So it sat on the market for about 90 days, which is probably what the term of the listing agreement was. Then they pulled it down, they put it back on, which is how we have a cumulative days on the market of 110. So on this house, would it be safe to say that we could offer them $479.9 with, hey, let's just say $10,000 back to cover our closing costs? Could we realistically get that offer accepted? My answer, I would be shocked if we couldn't. I would be really shocked if we couldn't. The only reason maybe we couldn't is because the sellers simply didn't have any equity in the home. So before I would make an offer on this, I would want to know, well, is there any safe assumption here that maybe they do have some equity, aka they have some negotiation room? So I looked it up. They bought the house in July of 2019, which was a great time to buy because it was right before things really, I mean, it was a good, like the market was good then. It was pretty balanced, but it went nuts in 2020. So given that they've owned this thing for three years and change, they got a good chunk of equity in this unless they refinanced all of it out. Point being, it is very safe to say that if we offered them their listing price with 10 grand back, I mean, they would be idiots not to take that offer. I mean, truly, after 110 days to get an offer that's only 10 grand off of what you're listed at, I'd be stunned if they didn't take it, right? And frankly, we could probably be a little bit more aggressive than that, is my 2 cents. Next house. This one is, okay, so a couple interesting points here. So this one was listed at 500 grand, which frankly, at the time it was listed, I would say, yeah, it's probably about right. It's probably about what worth, but the market disagrees with that statement. So they had a price reduction down to $455,000. So on a $500,000 house, to have a $45,000 price reduction is significant. Like, that's a significant drop. I mean, that's a damn near 10%. I mean, call it, let's 9% drop. That's a, yeah, 9% drop. That's a big drop, man. Like, that's a real big drop. Days on market and the cumulative days on market are the same, 25. So this house was listed 25 days ago. It is not sold. They have reduced the price by 45 grand. I set up a showing for tonight. I got a text from the listing agent that just said, hey, you've got a showing at my house tonight. Just so that you understand, the sellers are very motivated and they wanted me to, I mean, he clearly had permission to say that the way he worded the text. Okay, cool. Note taken, right? So I look to go, man, they reduced it by 45 grand. Could we like pretty safely get a reduction from the price or the credit for closing costs? So I looked up, well, when did they buy the house? They bought that, they're the original owner. Well, actually, I don't know. I think they bought it a year after it was built, but they bought it in August of 2017. So that tells me chances are these guys have a shit ton of equity in this house. They're probably sitting on like, I mean, truthfully, they could probably be sitting on upwards of a couple $100 grand. So if we said, okay, let's just say that they owe 300 as a rough guess. I'm just taking a rough guess. They owe 300 grand. So, and it's listed at 455. So they got 155 grand in equity, take out agent commissions and everything. Could they afford to eat that 10 grand in closing costs? Absolutely. Again, this would be a case of these guys would be foolish not to take that offer. And I love it because as someone who mostly represents buyers in a lot of military and law enforcement and stuff where it's like, look, they're hardworking human beings that don't necessarily make a lot of money per the work that they do. It can be tough to buy a house. So it's like, I love when things tip back towards the buyers because it's like we get to stick it to the sellers for a little bit for a change. So I feel very confident they could sell this house. It's also listed with a 3% buyer's agent commission, which just tells me, again, hey, we're pulling out all the stops to try to get the buyer's agents to show this house by offering a real commission. Unlike the next house, which we're not going to go into, but I mean, these idiots. This thing's been around for 46 days. They've reduced the price by 10 grand and they're offering 2% on a buyer's commissions. You're just idiots. Like, you're just idiots. Like seriously. So you're going to give a middle finger to all the buyer's agents with a 2% commission when there's plenty of houses just like yours out there with 3% that are priced just like yours. You're an idiot. No one's going to buy your house. Because if I did, I would literally make a contingent offer based on, no, you're going to pay me a real commission. Otherwise, this offer is void, right? And I would get my clients to sign off on that. Be like, no, I'm not going to work for a 1/3 price reduction. So it's like, look, this listing agent is either doing his client a disservice or he has an unreasonable seller. One of the two. The agent's an idiot or the seller's an agent. One of the two. Like, there's no in between on that. So look, guys, this is just some of my sort of psychology going in and making offers right now. I don't know if this is helpful or not, but it is things that you should think about because this is like real time, real shit from the ground. Like, this is what I would do and might be doing tonight on any of these offers. So take that with a grain of salt. I'm not going to talk about whiskey. This has been a long enough video. So whiskey's good. You should drink more, I guess really is the message of this video. So take care. If you guys need real estate help, let us know. We work in Utah. That's where I'm personally based out of, and the company's based out of is Utah, but we have a lot of clients all over the state from Florida to Alaska and everything in between. So let us know if you need help. Subscribe to the channel, comment, all that good shit. We'll see you next time.